Alright guys, hey, what's up? So one of the things that is going to be kind of a theme through this is that there's not a lot of stock zone blitzes on the game that are all that effective, and so a lot of times we're going to be showing you sort of different ways to use the same stock play but to get different sorts of effects out of it. And I wanted to show one of the ways that I use a pretty commonly used play, which is the 4-3 over mid-smoke zone play. And this is kind of the way that I set it up. There's a lot of different ways. I mean, you smoke mid-zone here that a lot of people use this play. This is the way that I use it, and it's something that you might find potentially useful. So we'll just go ahead and run it against a regular 3-wide set here. I'm not really the play that I'm picking. It's not really designed to shut down any particular kinds of passing plays or anything like that. So we'll just pick a regular play. Let's go with this FL drive play out of the shotgun normal. And here's basically the setup. What I do is I shift the line to the left, and then I re-blitz both of these interior defensive tackles. And then this defensive end on the edge here, I'm going to have him do a flat zone. And then this outside linebacker, I want to do contain. And that's basically all of the hot routes that I make. So basically you can see what happened there. We'll go ahead and go into instant replay mode. And what I'm hoping to happen here is that one of these guys on the left side, usually it'll be the outside linebacker, but every once in a while it's the defensive end, will come in unblocked, right? And that they'll get free to the quarterback. And basically the purpose of this is that they'll either get to the quarterback, like they did here where they got in untouched, or at the very least they'll force the quarterback to scramble out to that right side. And that's why I put that right outside linebacker in QB contain. That's the whole theory there, is that basically this is a good defense to use if you're facing somebody who you notice is apt to try to scramble out when they see pressure. You can kind of get some pressure coming at them from this side, and there's no way that you'd be able to scramble out to this side and avoid both of those players if you were going to try to go to the left side. One of those guys is going to get a complete free rush at the quarterback. And if you try to go left, you're not. I mean, unless you have like a really, really fast quarterback, you're probably not going to be able to get around the edge out there. And then if you try to go to the right, see, like if this center or this tackle happen to be successful in coming up and pick up this block, right, you're still going to have to scramble to the right, or else the lineman or linebacker is going to basically bounce off the block and make the tackle. So then you would end up scrambling right into the linebacker here that we have out in contain. I can show an example of that real quick. And so that's basically the idea of the blitz here. We got the same basic coverage that everybody else uses or the stock coverage that you have with this, except for that I like to put this defensive end out here in a flat zone, and that's just because a lot of times when people get blitzed and they get panicked, they're gonna look to the flats or to the short middle areas, and so that's basically what we're trying to cover here. If I were running this defense, the two players that I would consider manually controlling would be either the free safety who drops into this deep middle area. He drops basically deep middle, and that gives you some freedom to kind of manually decide if you want to cover a different route or not. If you see the pressure is getting there, you could maybe decide to come away and take away one of the shorter routes. Or you could look at using this outside linebacker here. He's got a hook zone. And you could kind of convert this into basically guarding. See, like right now, when you notice that there's no other routes coming to this area, you might go out and guard this halfback out here in the flat, or be in position to make a tackle if the quarterback were to release the ball out there. So those are the two players I would look at manually controlling. Let me show this one more time, and I'll just show you what would happen if you were to try to scramble out to the right. See that that linebacker would be there to make the play. So this is what you see if you try to scramble out to the right. As you see here, this time we got same kind of thing. We got the end and the linebacker coming free, and there's pretty much no way you're going to be able to go to the left, and you can't just sit straight in the pocket. So you kind of have to roll out, and that once they roll outside of the tackle box, that's going to activate this linebacker who's in a contain blitz to come and rush the quarterback. Now, the other person you could manually control if you wanted to if you wanted to, you could manually control this this outside linebacker and kind of do a manual sort of contain rush where you're still rushing the passer, but you sort of manually try to stay outside or keep pressure coming from the outside. That's something else you could do if you wanted to, because you do have pretty solid coverage on the back end. So this might be one of those defenses where you could just kind of depend on the computer to play coverage for you, and you try to get instant pressure on the quarterback, particularly if you're playing somebody that's got a faster quarterback. It could be another option if you wanted to do that. See, like if we were manually controlling this guy, we could have right here, we could have manually run in and got a sack as opposed to the computer, which waits until they get a little bit further out. So that's just kind of my take on it, on this particular blitz, and I've had some pretty good success with it, and I think it's a good. Anytime you're drawing up a blitz on this game or any kind of defense, really, I think one of the fundamentals that we have to do, because the game doesn't do a really good job of, is have containment for the quarterback. So you always have to be thinking about, well, what if they try to scramble to this side, or what if they try to scramble to that side? What would the defense do? Would the defense be able to handle it? And this is a good defense in the sense that you can kind of handle. I mean, you kind of take the scramble out of it. As long as they're not using slide protection, you're pretty golden there. So the one thing you might have to worry about is if they were to slide protect to this left side and then scramble, then you might be in some trouble, because that's why you might want to control this outside linebacker, so that if they were to slide protect left, you could manually rush the quarterback and try to get pressure yourself. So, like I said, it's a good flexible defense, because you got most of the computer assignments. They do pretty much what you want them to do. So that gives you flexibility to control. You have several defenders you can control here. You're not necessarily there's no defender that you have to manually control with in order for the defense to work. You be flexible and kind of tailor that to whatever your opponent's doing. So, anyways, this is kind of my take on the 4-3 over smoke mid zone. It's a blitz that I see a lot of guys running, and there's a lot of ways you can modify this play to try to get pressure, and this is the way that I use it.